No watcher, such a war. Son of Odin. No watcher, such a warrior.
What's up, rivals? Danny Koo here. I want to wish everybody a happy anniversary. Let's enjoy ourselves, make new friends, and together we usher in the second year of Marvel Rivals. Go Rivals!
Happy Rivals Day! Happy Rivals Day! 漫威阵风生日快乐!
Hey everybody, Tim the Tapman here. Happy Marvel Rivals anniversary. This game is incredible, baby!
Happy Marvel Rivals anniversary from Emeroom.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals. It's Jay
and Emily.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals from Flats and Gus.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary Day from Psylocke, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and have a great, a fantastic, and a blessed day.
老陆，我在这里祝福我们的漫威争锋1周年生日快乐。
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Craigie.
Marvel Rivals a happy anniversary! Yeah!
祝漫威争锋1周年生日快乐。
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary, everyone!
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Dish in California.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals!
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Kill.
漫威争锋生日快乐
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from the Kunawa VT.
Hey guys, happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary to everybody.
漫威争锋1周年了，祝你们生日快乐
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Macro.
生日快乐！
祝贺漫威争锋上线1周年。
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Captain Imperator himself.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Booger Nation.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals.
祝漫威争锋1周年快乐。
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy birthday, Marvel Rivals.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
I want to congratulate Marvel Rivals on their 1-year anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Miss Scotty.
Happy anniversary to Marvel Rivals. Keep playing.
周年快乐，愿热爱不息，精彩继续。
1周年快乐，各位超级英雄！
祝漫威争锋1周年快乐！
祝漫威争锋1周年快乐，以后越做越好。
Happy Rivals Day!
Hey there, Rivals. Dakota Masonette, Creative Development Manager here at the Marvel Games team. Just here to say thank you for getting us to this point. Here's to the first Marvel Rivals anniversary with many more to come.
Congratulations, Marvel Rivals, on your 1-year anniversary.
Happy Rivals Day.
Happy Rivals Day. Happy Rivals Day.
I wish all of you guys happy Rivals Day.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Kayla Jean in Australia.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary, everyone.
Hey guys, happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Necros.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
E aí, eu sou o Cavaleiro do Brasil, tô aqui só pra desejar feliz primeiro aniversário pro Marvel Rivals.
Marvel Rivals, feliz aniversário aqui do Brasil e de mim também.
Happy Anniversary, Rivals.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Sue Bunny.
And KG.
Hey everybody, Val Starlight here. I just want to say happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Y Andrew.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from the USA.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Wixie2.
Have a happy Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals.
Happy 1-year anniversary to Marvel Rivals.
Happy anniversary, Marvel Rivals.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary from Gaming Kirby.
Happy Marvel Rivals Anniversary.
Happy Rivals Day!
Show me again! That's me! That's me! That's me! I'm on the billboard! Come on, man. God is good, bro. God is good, man.
I like the cold. I am ready to put on a show!
Out of sight.
Alright, chat. Hey, welcome back as we go on ahead here into the next chapter of the first anniversary of Marvel Rivals, the video game. Join with me here is one of my longtime friends on PlayStation 3, 4, and now here on the 5. I want to introduce you guys to DevilDog.
What's going on, everybody? How you all doing out there?
It's a pleasure having you here today. I wanted to definitely sit and talk to you about Marvel Rivals and a lot of the influences that it has had over the past year. I can't believe it's actually been a year since this game actually came on the scene.
Yeah, same here, man. And again, I appreciate you having me on and stuff like that. It's an honor. Thank you.
Always. How do you think Marvel Rivals has successfully carved out its identity in the hero shooter, or do you still feel like it's finding its voice?
No, I do believe that it has its voice, to be honest with you, because from what I've noticed, it seems to be like the developers have definitely listening to the fans, and and the feedback, they always seem not to disappoint when it comes to game modes, what kind of character types we need to balance out the game, when it comes to cosmetic designs for the characters of that nature. They seem to be listening, and I understand that they kind of had like a plan for this first year, and there's things kind of that were kind of in the works, and the gears were already turning and couldn't be stopped at that point. So as far as there's definitely an influx of DPS characters that needs to be balanced out with other characters. We definitely need some more Vanguards for sure. Other than that, medics as well, but there's more variety, I believe, than there is for the tanks.
I will definitely co-sign on that one. There's a pretty big abundance of like a variety of medics that aren't your traditional characters you think would be medics, but they fill the role rather amicably, if not effectively well. Same with the tanks that do pretty well, that ideally either are for those that are push, those that are either dive, or those that are for like bunkering down and holding the line, like pure defensive style, like turtling.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So depending upon how you want to play it, they have something that's set up for like every type of play ideally so far that you want to make, which they kind of feels like they have Marvel Rivals set up like its own version of chess, which is why I like how the heroes shooters, that if they do it right, they can do that. Because Team Fortress 2 is like a good idea of like early chess, and Rivals is a little closer than Overwatch in terms of like modern day chess.
Yeah, I can see that. That actually goes right in line with the current season too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I forgot. Rogue and Gambit season here does kind of have a chess themed thing on it.
But no, I definitely totally get that. Because you got your characters that are kind of like your pawns. You kind of need them out there first, But then you got your other characters that definitely hold the line. So yeah, that's a good analogy, man. I like that.
Hmm. What design decisions this year most clearly defined the game's direction?
Can you elaborate a little bit? Like, what do you mean by that?
So in terms of like either like introducing like maps or the design for balance patching or maybe map inclusions or like the introductory of like the tipping of the scale in, for instance, like I would say like the tipping of the scale in terms of like how tanks, DPSs, and medics are shown here in a display in a display outline. If I could pull up the Overwatch one compared to this one and try, it would give you like an idea of the marketing aspect in like what the formula is they're trying to ideally push, which for here is more along the lines of like the DPS or an aggressor person. And then with like Overwatch, their formula or like the main design thing with them is usually pushing either a support or a holding aspect, or something with the map, with map designs.
Well, okay. Yeah, no, I definitely love the art style. I think it's definitely stands out. Like it stands out from, I never played Overwatch, but I remember when when my son was playing and stuff like that, seeing the designs of the characters. I do think Marvel stands out as its own thing. I don't think it looks anything like Fortnite characters. It doesn't look like anything like the Overwatch characters, and anything else that Marvel's put out either. It doesn't look like anything from their cartoons. It doesn't look like anything from any of the other video games. It's like its own art style, which is nice.
Yeah, and its own art style, it still has a comic book vibe to it, which I really like to that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. And I, as an artist myself, like the visuals like that, I take note of that stuff, and it means a lot. And it's like the small details too, like even in the maps and stuff like that. I love that how they're like hidden like Easter eggs and things like that.
Okay. Next question. How has the game maintained player engagement?
I think it's maintained player engagement by doing like their like mini passes and like where they like you can get in and you can get free stuff. And I think also with them listening to the fans, when like I believe there were some characters that were coming out that were supposed to be other they weren't supposed to be like the style that they were supposed to be. Like whether it be like a DPS that was turned into a tank or turned into a healer, things like that, like last minute. Like I think because I believe Gambit was supposed to be a DPS originally, and then they turned him into a healer like last minute. Like they reworked him, if I understand correctly.
I don't know there, but I wouldn't be surprised because he is a very competent medic that's able to be self-sustaining in the DPS department, not so much in like the self-healing department. He can do self-healing to a decent degree. He takes a really interesting like alternate pivot of Kiriko's design. She's a top tier medic over in Overwatch 2. It's a very similar card. Her kunais are shot at point blank precisions in intervals, delayed intervals, versus his cards that are shot at periods of like what 1, 2. I think he shoots at like a total like 5 playing cards before the deck reloads.
Okay.
The damage, her kunai does damage versus his doing like consistent damage that does pile up really pretty quickly, which is why I can see that some people feel like I can see some people want to cater to him for now because he does have DPS aspects, very similar to like how Ultron got here when he was like designed to be a DPS medic. That's literally what his design was to be an aerial version of Zenyatta, but focusing DPSing while healing. That way you have the best of both. Like Moira, think Moira and Zenyatta in one. That's Ultron. For Gambit, think like Wu Yong and Kiriko, but with the Sutra cleansing, like ability cleansing aspect to it, which is like really strong this meta in terms of pushing status elements.
Yeah. Another thing I think that they did good that helps keep player engagement and also invite new players in is like you don't like this is the first game of this style that I've ever played. I've never played Overwatch or any other game that was like this. I came from first player shooters, fighters, things like that. And I think with this, you have characters that you can literally just pick up and use. Like you have people that all you have to do is just point and shoot. You don't really have to have aim for. like Wanda, and you have, like you and I were talking not too long ago about like Daredevil, and I had mentioned, I was like, they literally created this guy for noobs, like like his just all his mechanics, like this is for somebody that like just wants to get in and like
wants to get in and press buttons,
get
like your ideal
MVP
dude.
without having any kind of like experience.
He just gets in and just does something, and it works because he's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's characters that I know that seem to fit like every type of appetite, also in terms of like the skill floor versus the skill ceiling. So like there are beginner friendly characters. There's also noob friendly characters that just allow you to just kind of turn your brain off, and they just make it do what it do by design. You'll just get kills magically because, ta-da, this is the character.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I want to see them try to stay away from is like after this last event that they did, the gotcha event with the Psylocke skin. I don't want to see them falling into like gotcha schemes. I think
in terms of like
that
using
may hurt the game.
Yeah, because they were doing like using the free coins that you're getting in order to put into like the RNG instead of just flat out buying it.
Exactly. Now I happened to luck out because I was one of those 5% people that got it on the first try, and I only paid 100 units for it. But yeah, I just happened to luck out, man. I was just looking at the balloons. I was like, Holy Spirit, which one should I pick? And boom, popped out one, and I unlocked the whole thing, man. It was amazing. My wife was sitting right next to me, and I was upset because I was like, dang, I forgot that I wanted to record it for my channel.
Oh my gosh! And you got it on like the second pull?
I got it on the first. I got it for 100 units.
Oh, that's clean.
Yeah. Now, and it works out because she's the only DPS lord that I have right now. She's one of my mains. I have all her other outfits. So to get it for 100 units, I was like freaking out. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Ooh, okay.
One thing I did learn though is like just because somebody's got a lord doesn't mean they're good with that character. It just means they played that character a lot.
Right. So there's always a chance you can surprise somebody.
Right. Because I've seen some people that are not lords. Like honestly, and I'll admit it. Like they play better than me. And I'm not saying I'm bad. I am very good with Psylocke, but I have seen other players that were not lords that were still better than I.
Fair. Were they also lords, or they weren't lords yet?
They were not lords. And vice versa. I've like right now, like I'm working on Storm, and I've been killing it, like with her, and I've gone up against some rare occasions. Like it's very rare. She's one of those rare lords, Storm. But like I've gone up against other lords, and it's like you haven't even know what you're really doing, and you're hoping your team carries you with her. Like
yeah, that way you can kind of just go in there in the back and kind of do your thing, even though you gotta already know other things you need to do before you go do this thing.
Yeah, because she's I know she's a DPS, but she's more of a main support.
Which character?
Like if I venture off away from my team, it's a wrap. Like I gotta be with the team, and make sure they're all within my circle, and I'm supporting them like overall. But I've really been enjoying using her. My other lords that I currently have are Emma Frost and Sue Storm.
Okay.
Not Sue Storm. Yeah. Yeah. So I have her lord, and I have Venom almost to lord. So he's my next tank that I'm working on. Storm's my next DPS that I'm currently working on, and I'm working on Luna Snow as my next healer.
Okay, you're definitely taking the well-rounded approach and trying to make sure you have one for each one, and probably even more than one for each category. That way, you also have options in case that one's taken. You got another one you can venture to that you're confident can also do the job you want to do here.
Yeah, the only hard thing about that is like with Psylocke is. Like, Psylocke is one of those characters, like, you need to be constantly using. Like, I notice, like, if I jump into games and stuff and I haven't really used her lately, like, I'm a little rusty. So, like, my aim is slightly off, things like that. But it doesn't take me long. After a couple matches, I'm back in the swing of things. But if she is one of those characters, like if you shelve her for too long, you're gonna have to work with her again.
That I can feel, because there's some characters that if they do have like a little shelf life on them, you do got to play a bit with them to effectively derust.
Yeah, for sure.
Like those ones that have like a small learning curve to them, they also do reward and punish consistency and inconsistency.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like case in point, chat, like Hella, like she's a character that literally requires precision. Like there's some times where like I can be godlike with my aim, and then that one time I'm not on it, I am literally just ass. Like my aim is just tanking, and I am going negative. Like she literally just becomes a hawk just to go fly right into death, literally. When my aim's not on it, like if you ain't got aim, you can't play some of those characters. Others you can get away with sometimes.
Yeah, and my thing with Emma is like Emma doesn't matter. I can show her, pick her back up, and just dominate with her. The thing I notice with her though is like if I'm in competitive with her, and my healers are not on point, it don't matter.
Surprisingly though, she doesn't really have too many bad matchups, if not any. Like the key thing, because she can tank a lot more than she looks like she can in diamond mode. Like Diamond Dami can take a pretty big hit, even though like medics definitely are needed to help that along. It's just her only thing I think is just like trying to effectively keep people out of the air consistently.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Or people teaming on you, because like she can counter team with her what was it, the mind wave thing where she gets everybody to come to her, which works until you got that one person that can put up some type of interruption or disruption process, which can kind of counter challenge that.
Magneto is like that.
Magneto's barrier.
Doctor Strange is one of those people. So like I'm really trying to be careful with, and same thing with Loki. If Loki's got if he's got any of his clones out, it also absorbs some of that damage because the way the mechanic works. So
okay.
I've researched her a lot when I was first playing with her, and like how exactly her ult works and stuff like that, with like how it disperses damage and stuff. So like one thing I've learned is like those are 3 characters you want to try to like wait till their shields are used up or like there's no clones out. And it's the same thing with Psylocke. It's the same thing with Psylocke's ult. Like the Loki clones will absorb damage. Because how Psylocke's ult works is like it hits damage to the person with I believe the most life, so it kind of like chip them down as opposed to like chipping down somebody who's already low, or it might be the other way around. I don't remember.
I was about to ask, is that how our priority works when she goes to ult? It goes for the one with the most healing first, and not the one that's already about to fall.
Yeah, I believe so. Because all 3 of my characters that are my mains right now, like I've researched them extensively, and but it's been a while, and I know that it's the mechanic for her ult works one of the 2 ways I just mentioned. Like I said, I've kind of shelved her for the moment because I've been working on other people, but
okay. Next, a question. What steps need to be taken to make competitive play more sustainable?
If they can get away from like, what is it called? I think it's like smurfing or something like that. Or like, that's a term I've recently heard, and I think that's where like people are like,
on alt accounts and kind of in these same tierings and whatnot, just to kind of be in the area, whether or not they're either gatekeeping that whole hierarchy or they're just here to be here when they should actually be in their own bracket tier when they're not.
Exactly. So if there was like a way to kind of like prevent that from happening, that would be good. And I don't know what it is with the competitive. Like, I don't know if it's just like this luck of the draw or whatever, but I know there's times where like, and like we'll just be getting housed game after game after game after game, and then we'll win a game and then housed game after game, and vice versa. There's games where it's like we're dominating, and then get housed one game and then dominate. I'm like, so like I'm not sure what parameters they take to make the matchmaking. But I do know that the smurfing thing is a problem.
Yeah, because they're saying there is no EOMM for skill-based matchmaking. It feels like there should be to a degree, because like generally speaking, it just feels like it's always just like whoever is like the more professional salesman of a queue.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Let me see. Next question, and it's going into more of the community and communications aspect. How has the dev team handled transparency and feedback?
There's really no way to ever know if they're ever fully being real transparent with us, but I'd like to believe, from what I've seen so far, that they have been. Like, I do believe that, like, because they're like, I remember watching something, and like I was speaking with you earlier about how they, we kind of have everything in the pipeline right now, but it's kind of hard to backtrack it now. So like, come the following year, we're gonna balance out the characters and things of that nature. There are a few characters that need to be nerfed and some that need to be buffed, but I think that comes with every season of them trying to just rework things, and I think they've been pretty good about that. I did hear some controversy about what we were just speaking about the matchmaking thing, and them. I don't remember if they were saying skill based or not skill based, something like that. I don't recall. It was a while ago that I saw that.
It's a few months ago, I think, or several months, one of the two. But they're saying, and they're sticking to their case, that it is not skill based matchmaking.
It feels like it is, though, don't it?
It do.
And and like that was like, I know you and I were playing a little bit over the weekend together, and like we were talking about that, and I was like, oh, we should test it out, but then my system crashed. But we should try it out another day, where like we'll switch who's the party leader and see if our competition is different. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Because I remember with COD, that's how it used to be back when I was playing like World War II on COD and like Black Ops 3. Like whoever the party leader was, like that's who you're playing with. And it was like that Advanced Warfare, like that's the skill level. Because I remember when Advanced Warfare is like where I really got into COD, like really, like I've played since the old games, but like I wasn't really good until Advanced Warfare. And I remember like people in that I would party up with, they'd always want me to be the party leader when I wasn't that great, so we could play people at that level, and they would just come in and they would house and get nukes and stuff, all kinds of stupid perks and whatnot.
Yup. That was literally how my team rolled when we were on Rainbow Six Siege. Because Rainbow Six Siege for rank, it is like pure skill-based matchmaking. It goes based off of whoever is the highest rank present on your team whenever you go to queue up, which is why whoever's the queue leader is, which is why most of the times if there are seasons where I'm dragging or I'm not able to catch up with everybody else like I usually would, they always want me to be the queue leader. That way it helps tame out all the golds and the plats that will come off of their random ass queues, because they're not going to be on mine until mine's trimmed out.
Yeah.
And by the time that happens, we're already going to be close to high gold and plats, so we can kind of let the ass whomping go from there.
Yeah, because I could believe that, because when you and I were playing over the weekend, you were the party leader, like, and we were just playing quick match. I felt like I was playing competitive. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like the competition's a little tougher than usual. and I know because I was having issues with my system crashing, which I now fixed over the weekend. So I just got back into competitive today, but I haven't touched competitive for the last 2 seasons of this game, because I didn't want to, because like my system would just shut off and I'd be out of the match, and then I would get penalties and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm pretty competitive. If you get a certain amount of penalties, they'll ban you from the game, like completely. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah, absolutely not. You gotta just play as your console's able to allow you to go through the motions.
Yeah.
Next question. Which community-driven ideas made it into the game?
That I'm not entirely sure, and I can't answer that real clearly because I don't know, because I don't follow enough of the communities to know what's happening. So I don't know who's been out there like requesting exactly what and ending up in the game, except for like maybe like cosmetics.
Okay. Mainly just that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have like I know people like were like I've over I'll watch like YouTube videos about like what's happening, what's going on, and stuff like that. So I know there's communities out there that were like talk about like different maps they should have, different game modes they should have. Like I do know that like something like the domination game mode and stuff like that, that was all added in due to the community. And like even currently with what's happening with Marvel Zombies, I mean that pretty much keeps getting extended because it's got good feedback. And they ought to just make that a permanent staple to the game, to be honest.
Okay. Next question is going to be delving into the roster and the hero design.
Okay.
Which new heroes had the biggest impact on the meta or player excitement, or even for cultural impact?
How new are we talking? Like
in terms of
recent?
In terms of every DLC character, 5 seasons. So Season 0 didn't have anybody. Season 1 or whatnot. So Fantastic Four was all like 2 for 2 each one. So I want to say, from across all 5 seasons. So all the new characters that we got, which ones generated the most hype, or like the most cultural impact, or was like game changing?
I would say definitely has to be probably at this current state was probably Daredevil. And the reason I say that is because it's like I was saying before, like he, his mechanics and everything, like truly he's like a character you could just pick up and like play. It'd pretty much probably be between him and Gambit, to be honest, because Gambit was such a fanfare. I mean, Gambit was the one I've heard the most hype about. Like when people were talking about Gambit when he was coming out, I was like, yeah, people were going wild. Like everyone was following on YouTube and stuff like that, and different forums I was reading, people were hyped.
I think this one. I will agree on Gambit definitely both being being a meta changer for right now, and honestly being a cultural impact, because he was like one of the most beloved X-Men of the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it probably still is now.
Oh yeah, it had to have been because by popular demand or interest and like good marketing, he was a shoo-in, and the man had so much love coming in here. I can only imagine what it's going to be like for his wife when she gets here in another couple of months.
Oh yeah, I know people are waiting for Rogue.
Because Rogue is another one that's like a big one up here.
Yeah, she's a huge fan favorite. I know she's one of my top favorite X-Men. My number one favorite X-Men is Nightcrawler, and he best be coming to the game because I think he would be an awesome DPS to add into the game.
He could, honestly. Like again, like the League of Legends concept. Like there's a few people that are here that if they wanted to try and like take a couple of Overwatch tropes again, there's a few that I could see. Like if you want to try and have an Echo character that can do metamorphosis and continual changing, you got Morph you can apply, which is another core X-Men. Nightcrawler you could probably try and take, or if you want to try and do another one that can also be, well, not so much tanky. Maybe she could be tanky. I don't know. You could also try Mystique. Mystique does also the same thing like Morph.
Yeah, Mystique would be cool too, and they could use the abilities just sort of like Loki.
Yeah.
So they could go off like Loki's mechanics for sure. Let me ask you something, because I literally just thought about this last night as a character and what his ult could be. So what if you had Mysterio in the game, right? but as his ult, what happens is it randomly changes. Like you don't not your whole team will look like the enemy or appear as the enemy, but just random people will be picked and look like the enemy. Where like if you end up attacking them, not only do you kill them, but you kill yourself.
Oddly enough, Mysterio, I see being in this game. I see Mysterio being in this game at some point. It feels right. I feel his ult would be, it would have to be something kooky. I want to say like the dumbest thing that comes to mind that could work for like an overall visual or statistical distortion is to change the names of allies and enemies.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And the reason because like when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, you know what though? It would have to be like probably randomized, because you would start to learn after a while, like, oh, if Mysterio just hit his ult, everyone that looks like an opponent is actually my ally, so attack the allies. You know what I mean? But if it was like random where you didn't know who was who, where like it didn't pick your whole entire team but picked like some of your team, you're like and like some of the enemy team would look, but not everybody.
Or do they want to try and do it like was it like a seer or whatnot, or kind of like seer, for instance. If he's a Legends from Apex Legends, or it only affects. It's kind of like a Bankai or a what do they call it? Eminent domain, not eminent domain, domain expansion. Damn it, where it's like it's all within a specific field of effect radius, a specific AOE range that is affected by this. So if you step out of this, then everything in all the visual scans are normal again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking that it would be like, but it would be like a specific field of AOE that would be able to allow like a visual distortion. It wouldn't do any actual damage physically to people, but it creates like a temporary distortion to where allies and enemies are allies within the specific set radius, which you can visibly see in a marker, like anybody else that activates an ult that has an AOE effect, like Daredevil, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, that would work, I think.
Because I think he would be a tank. If I could see him being a tank more than a DPS or whatnot. Because it's something about him that he doesn't do damage, but it's something that he just prolongs match for stall time, which is something that tanks can do.
Well, okay, yeah, that could definitely work.
So there was a few other things I could see that would be coming here, but yeah, Mysterio is one I would definitely see in here. MODOK was one I could definitely see in here, probably being another tank, possibly Red Skull. I feel like there would be a random pivot with them including another Spider-Man-y character, and I don't know what route they would take, if they're going to either try a Miles or if we want to do a Carnage.
I would prefer Carnage. And then see, I'd rather them do Carnage and then just give Spider-Man Miles his
skin.
Just give him like Miles' skin, because I know Miles' other ability, he can go invisible or whatever and shoot the other stuff out of him, whatever, like the sparks or whatever. But
right, and I just feel like with Spider-Man as he is, and having another Spider-Man that can do similar-esque things or go invis with a similar or almost watered-down equivalent expression for oppression, it would just be insufferable, where that would kind of warrant an almost nerfing to the ground, and we don't want that.
Right. You know who I would love to see come in is Black Cat.
I saw a billboard thingy in Times Square, here in the game in Times Square for her, and I saw something for Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
And I saw the design that looked interesting. I'm just like, wait a minute, could they have actually just revealed this shit in advance?
Well, there are Easter eggs all throughout, because like I've been following up on YouTube with like upcoming characters and stuff like that, and supposedly MODOK is supposed to be coming. Supposedly, Quicksilver is supposed to be coming. Like in one of the maps, you can see there's a poster of Quicksilver sneakers, it's called, and then there's like his silhouette and stuff like that. Plus, I also
show
heard
me when
a
you
rumor.
can. That sounds nice.
Yeah, right. And I also heard a rumor that anything that's a plushie is going to be a character in the game.
I wanted to believe that. I'm trying to think. Let me think. Because let's look at the plushies while we're here.
The only thing that throws that off for me is Mary Jane. Like, how would you incorporate Mary Jane in the game?
Yeah, because she is no combative person. Yeah, like let's see here. I don't know if you're looking at my screen here real quick, but let's look at some of these. Like the plushie here with Psylocke, that's already been in here. Jeff, Emma, they got a skin actually to solidify. Not a skin, but they got an emote. What was it? The robot here. It's not really a robot, but it's the outro that incorporates the robot with the Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation skin. We'll see here. Jeff with Deadpool. I see the Deadpool one. I see Deadpool being another possible game changer, if not easily for the cultural inclusion.
Coming. Yeah, we know he's coming after Rogue, I think.
Let me see here.
Cyclops is coming to the game. I know that.
Yeah, I saw that was a beautiful thing I saw that for Gambit and Rogue's wedding. You got Psylocke right there. You got Emma. You got Magneto, and you got Wolverine. That was a beautiful service. I love the fact that they literally hinted at him literally right there, which is why I could see him, if Rogue is a tank, I see him being literally the next DPS that makes sense to complete the trifecta.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then Quicksilver, I'm not sure. I see him as a possibility. That way you have both of Mag's kids here in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know what role really suits him.
I don't know if you know, but Wanda, Pietro, and Polaris are all his kids.
Yeah, I didn't know about Polaris until several years ago. I didn't know that he had 3 kids. I always knew about Quicksilver from the comics and from both of the early TV shows, and I also knew about Wanda, but I didn't know about Polaris until later.
Yeah. She has his powers. She also has magnetic powers.
Who?
Polaris.
Oh, actually, you know what? That makes sense because when it Polaris, polar opposites,
polarity, yep.
magnetism. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. Yo, Iceman would be dope to put in the game.
I'm trying to think, what would they do with him? It's not the first time that there's been characters with similar powers in a game, but I don't know what they would do with him because Pyro, what was it? Oh, they don't have Pyro actually. They have the other Flame Boy, which is the same. It fills the same role. So I'm thinking they could have. They wouldn't need him as a DPS. I mean, he could be a DPS, but the thing that I can give the game, I give Rivals its flowers so far is because they're trying to stay away from the stereotypical expectations of their character picks, and I like that for them because some of these choices are risky, but I like that they're committing to these risks because again, that's a part of shaping the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Because lore-wise, a lot of these characters that are tanks and a couple of them that are medics should have all just been DPSs, and I love the fact that they aren't, but they have subtle DPS pivots that give them viability.
Yeah.
And it can kind of sort of help people get out of the stereotypical mindset of just always brain dead picking a DPS and not trying to flex pick or learn how to potentially flex pick.
Right.
Let's see here. X-23. I would have to be convinced on how X-23 would work in the game compared to Wolverine, or if they're just going to take a League of Legends approach and eventually nerf Wolverine to the ground, and then you introduce her daughter to fill in that same role.
Yeah.
What's this other one here?
I mean, essentially her powers would be the same as Wolverine's, right?
Basically, yeah. What is it? Then Gambit's already here. Bot's already here. Those are just people. Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde, I think, is a off-put round robin pick I could see here, but I could only see her being a medic.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how she'd work out, but
I feel like she would work similar to how Mysterio works in My Hero Ultra, because My Hero Ultra Rumble, there's a hero there that's close to the top, the rank number 1. His name is Mysterio. His ability is called
Mysterio in the game.
No, not here. But in My Hero Ultra Rumble.
No, that's what I'm saying. I haven't played Ultra Rumble in quite some time. I didn't know they added him into that game.
Oh, we should definitely try to play it sometime. He was an early DLC pick for either 4 or 5, one of those two. But he was here before Overhaul got added to the game.
Oh, okay.
Because they're in season 14 over there right now. Season 14, the new character this season was Armored All Might.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Azawa was the last DLC when I stopped playing.
Oh, he was added in base game. Oh, that was a ways back because they're in the second.
And that's my dude.
Yeah. Honestly enough, he got like subtly nerfed, but it still didn't affect his gameplay. And he's still he's still anti top tier.
Yeah.
He's good anti meta.
Yeah, he's my favorite character in the series. So when they added him in, I was like, oh my god. But you know what happened was everybody that I played with stopped playing, so I stopped playing.
Oh, let me know whenever you want to get on and play. I will definitely boot up.
Yeah, I'll re-download it for sure.
I go in there literally just to either boot up casuals and or comp.
Okay.
But the thing I was thinking of was permeation, because his Murio's permeation allows him to, in select intervals while his ability is up, is to phase through walls, or you can press a button, and for half of your ability, you can literally like ghost all the way to where an ally is.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, so that'd be cool for her.
So I could see something like this working for her, which would be huge viability in the terms of a support that can just suddenly be right there alongside you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that.
Like a similar type of pull speed, like Mercy's pull when she does her grapple from character to character healing people. It would be that same type of response time.
Oh, okay.
It's like what I see. It was like what I picture in terms of like the viability of how her lore can be useful in supporting allies.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't even because like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking on that, I also heard another that they were like in talks or like asking the community like what they think about like adding like another class where like there'd be a support class and like people like Storm would fall under there.
I mean, they could change that rule in the middle of the game. At this point, they could, yes. Apex Legends did that same thing, and it didn't hurt it for the better. But for a game like this, where there's generally just 3 roles, how would 3 roles? Yes, with 6 people in it, but the general formula that all the shooters or team shooters have taken is always a 2-2-2 or a 3-2-1. So in incorporating a 4th role, how would the 4th role work as a productive pivot for moving the dial of a tank? Is to like move up again, it's like chess. So a tank is to move up and to control space. DPS is to counter challenge for select portions of space to either crumble or check. And then medics are like your kings and your queens. You have to always protect those. So what would a 4th role be that could still move the dial? Would it be something like a knight where you can casually just crisscross? Because that's like essentially like dive, unless they wanted to make dive its own thing, which some characters can already do that while also being a hybrid and can kind of sort of pseudo do another role. Or are we talking about like specifically just hard defensive roles, which yes, like if it's just like turns of like just like systemically bunkering down and holding a point or a node, there's 2 tanks that I can say that actually do that. There is 1 or 2 DPSs that involuntarily do this. And then there's 1 medic that is forced to do this on point while still being nimble enough to still be viable everywhere and nowhere, but they're generally not supposed to be close to point during a contest, but they're supposed to be close to point when moving the dial to the next checkpoint with the node. Like for instance, in the case of DPSs and tanks all like dive bombing in the back line, or they're constantly up there harassing the targets, you got to have somebody back pushing the node. That way it's moving the dial. That's usually the job of at least 1 medic staying behind. That way you're doing something productive to move the dial.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, I don't know how it would work, but I'm not necessarily against it, but I'm not sure how it would work out. Especially as they start adding more and more characters, like,
right?
Maybe a 4th world would be necessary, but Again, it's like
that would be pretty
and what
game changing
mechanics
to
does
do
it
that.
work?
Right.
You know, because something like domination, yeah, that makes sense. You know. Might see him. Who knows? Because I do know they do like to foreshadow what's to come.
They
You
do,
just
and
gotta
the lore of
if
a
you're
lot
a
of
super fan, you
characters.
pick up on them. You know.
Yeah, and then the lore of a lot of the character of the season, the lore of the season, they do kind of sort of reveal the next characters very, very vaguely.
Yeah.
And so,
It's
like
real subtle.
the talk of the town for the next season coming up after Rogue is supposedly Emma Bloodstone.
Okay. Yeah, I think I heard that too. And that they would add her to the game, and she'd have like guns and stuff like that.
Yeah, she would be like this game's version of Ana.
Okay.
Or be like a sniper-based medic.
That'd be cool, because then that'd also be, because I think the only real sniper we have is probably Black Widow. I mean, you got Punisher, but he's not really a sniper. He's just like a run and gun type of dude.
No, Black Widow is like the main sniper because she is literally just like Black Widow on Overwatch. It's the same role for the same setup.
The hardest characters in the game to use, though. I think
Her
she's got
and
the lowest,
Hawkeye,
like the lowest HP. Yeah, Hawkeye too. Yeah.
And then Hawkeye is a secondary sniper, I would say, for archery. He's kind of like kind of like Genji, except with no Dragon Strike as the super. It's mainly just to be able to dogpile DPS by hitting after images, not that main target.
Okay. Yeah. I gotta check out Overwatch sometime.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's why I just keep tabs on like how all the concept is for how everybody when they come in here. I already know like how they're going to play in comp and what the team comps will change to in order to accommodate for, because either lesser levels aren't going to use it because they're not going to see the foresight in like how this plays in the overall team comp and strategy for formula creating, or how you need to change in and change out characters for game plans, whereas the higher level will already know how to use this shit because you come from the Overwatch ideology. Because Ana was useful for many years before she started getting sidelined, and only is used in like specific team comps because of the anti-heal. Because her guns is based off of healing your opponents and anti-healing your enemies, and doing DPS through anti-healing at mass ranges. Like she's super annoying because you can snipe someone for subtle DPS and they can become insta one-hitted, as opposed to your medics and being a medic where she can also be viable for subtly like healing from here to here, healing from time to time from afar, long ranges from afar, like sniping lanes. It doesn't do a lot of tick for regen, but it's enough to be noticeable for you to survive a little bit longer for a more like hands-on medic to literally get to you.
Oh, okay.
Because from Overwatch, good Anas, if they understand the sniping lanes and understand map knowledge and map presence, it's very difficult to contest her. If you can get to her, you got her. But the hard part is getting to her, because she's going to constantly keep tagging you from afar, and by the time you get to her, you're going to be susceptible to somebody else along the lane while you're routing to her.
Yeah, it sounds like a game I gotta check out for sure.
Yeah, her game plan is literally, I hit you while you're distracted to make you focus me. Then when you focus me, you die because you can't get to me.
Yeah, I think like Matt. Also, like you said, like you had mentioned something about like, I think briefly about like knowing the map with her. So like I do feel like even with this game, like knowing your maps is kind of crucial also for certain characters, like Namor. Like if you can place those squids in spots that people don't know where it's coming from, like it's annoying. Just times those things are hitting me. Where are they? But I don't think it's as crucial as something like COD. Like Call of Duty, like knowing your maps is crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that's a game where that's the one thing I will say that Call of Duty does teach you going into shooting games or team-based games further, is because having map presence is important. Having map knowledge is optimal.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Overwatch and Valorant have like reinforced that shit. that map knowledge is optimal. If you know where everything is on the map resource wise, or how your opponents would need to travel ideally, or need to pivot if they can't go this way, it is invaluable to always making checkmate somewhere.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it's like that too with this game, but just for certain characters.
Next question is the current balance philosophy working?
I believe they're doing a good job at getting it. You know, like I mentioned before, like I believe they're listening to the community, and you know, clearly there was an abundance of DPS, and they're working on balancing things out, and I feel like I'm going to see a nice balance coming up this next coming year. And I do see big things from Marvel Rivals. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, as long as Disney keeps, you know, their nose out of things and just let them keep doing what they're doing.
That it is.
You know, because I was concerned when like I found out like the original like the devs and whatnot, they were all like, you know, all the developers were like changing and stuff, and I was like, oh please don't mess the game up. And they seem not to be. So I've been pleased with what's going
on. Next question. We're going into maps and modes. Do the maps encourage strategic play, or do they limit hero diversity?
I think they do. I think they do allow strategy and stuff like that. I think if you're playing and you don't, it comes down to what we're just talking about, like lack of knowledge of the map. Because like I just recently discovered, literally yesterday, that there's a bunch of breakables in the map, so you could break through walls to make to make shortcuts. I'm like, and I knew about some of them that I found on accident, but I didn't know about. There was many more. I was like, oh my god, look at all this. So now I'm gonna start watching YouTube videos on all the breakable places in the game.
Oh, definitely take advantage of that. Those create very nice lines of sight that you can take advantage of in order to create range.
Yeah, and I've been playing since season 0, bro. And like I said, I knew about some of them, but I did not know there was this many. That I saw the other day. I was like, oh my god, I gotta learn these and learn them well. Game changers, bro. Game changers.
Okay. Next question. Has the introduction of new modes meaningfully changed the game cycle?
Yes, I believe so. At first, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, yeah, I liked what we were doing, but like now that like I'm like, you know what, I do like the domination mode. I do like, especially because like when I played Call of Duty, that was my game mode. I love domination. I would like them to see them incorporate something kind of like a capture the flag type of thing, which kind of like if you remember, like we used to play way back on the PS3 with like Transformers.
Yeah, like capture the flag back then.
That. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily. I don't think it should necessarily be a flag, but like some kind of like object or something that would like go better themed with the game. And I'm also okay with them like experimenting, where like, hey, try this game mode, try this, and if they don't work, you just remove them.
That's it.
No foul, you know.
My only complaint I will have in that regard is the fact that the other auxiliary game modes that they're introducing can also systemically stay too. in order to help with returning investment factors.
Yeah. See, I would like to see them incorporate that where Call of Duty used to do. It's like, okay, I could play like this mosh pit thing where like it gives me all the different game modes like as I play. But if I want to play just a specific game mode, like if I just want to play strictly domination, say I'm in the mood, that's all I want to play. Like, then they should have that option. Or like even when they did the event where like they had like the it was sort of like for the Chinese New Year they did last year, and you got the Star-Lord skin with the soccer. It was sort of like soccer. Like they can, those are things that you could keep in the game. Same thing I was saying with like Marvel Zombies. It seems to be very popular with people. It's not my cup of tea. I have fun when I play it, but like I'd have a lot more fun if I was playing with like you and my squad.
Yeah.
So playing it dolo, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fun, but I'd rather get into an actual match and go kick some butt. But it's nice to have the option, you know.
Because that's one of the things that's literally just keeping it like one notch off from having just as much high replayability factor as Overwatch. Is just take auxiliary game modes, or even if they don't want to make them, again, you can take that same cue from them, or even from Fortnite, and just introduce like a Build-A-Bear custom mode or whatnot, where people can go in and make their own custom modes. Or if you don't know how,
so cool.
Make your custom modes based off of the lore. You're literally running a multiverse video game. There's a multiverse of Marvel. There's too much here to not have a what if game mode. There's literally what if the show for Marvels.
Yeah. And no, that is one thing about the game that I will say. I don't think they're fully taking advantage of what they actually have, you know. Again, that could be a Disney thing, you know, because we do know that Disney's not a part of this game. So it could maybe they won't allow them to do certain things, but
wait, so is What If, is that owned or alongside Disney and Marvel?
Well, What If is actually an actual comic series that's been around since like the 60s or 70s. Like Marvel's always had like a What If. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite comic books is What If Wolverine was Lord of the Vampires, and it's pretty cool because, yeah, dude, I'll send you pictures of it. I love it. My favorite comic. Like, so like there's a comic where like the X-Men fight Dracula, and he takes Storm as like his queen. And it's funny because I told you I've been using Storm in the game. She was talking to Magic today when I was playing it. Oh no, she was talking to Blade. Blade goes, "There's a stench on you. What is that? Whatever." She's like, "Oh, I once had an encounter with Dracula," and he goes, "That's the type of stench that never goes away," type of thing. And it's like, oh my god,
oh, that references the What If.
Are you freaking kidding me? That was such. Again, unless you're a huge fan, like these are little Easter eggs, like little nods that you would get. So they did an issue of What If Wolverine became one of the vampires. So what it is it takes up from that story, but Wolverine ends up killing Dracula and getting some of Dracula's blood in his mouth and becomes Dracula pretty much. But it's Wolverine as a vampire, and he becomes like in control of all the vampires. He turns all the X-Men into vampires, and then the Punisher is the one that ends up becoming the Vampire Slayer and like destroys him and kills Wolverine and all that stuff. I was like, what? That's awesome.
Damn, that's kind of unironic. I'm surprised there wasn't a Blade and a Punisher thing here. It's just like we're gonna just that's literally like what a Blade is. Blade is a vampire. That's a vampire hunter. This is like on cue type shit here.
Yeah, it was so cool, dude.
That sounds like a really cool comic.
Yeah, it's dude. I had it as a little boy, so I actually have 2 issues of it because I bought it probably like 7 years ago. I bought it. So I have my original one from when I was a kid, and I read it so much, dude. It's like all beat up. Like the pages are off the staples. You know what I'm saying? But like I still have.
Yeah, you definitely got some good reading.
Like I have Mitt in the baggie and on the bagging board. Okay. So like yeah, so What If is actually a comic line, and then Marvel ended up doing the television series, and they have like the modern like What If, which is pretty cool. Because it actually one of the skins, the blue, the current blue thing. Again, if you look at it, it says first appearance 76 issue, I think number 6 or something like that. And then if you look at the new Ultron one, it says what if from 2025, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
First appearance, what if issue number 34 from 1977?
Yep, there you go. I was close. I said 77.
From Blue, from Blue Thing. Oh, okay. And then Ultron's? Hang on.
Yeah, Ultron's is from the show. I don't know if it was 24 or 25, but...
Let's see. This is Infinity Ultron from Marvel Studios' What If Season 1 in 2021. I'm surprised this was a reference.
Okay, I haven't watched the What If series yet. I heard it's okay. I didn't hear great things, but I didn't hear bad things.
Okay, I thought that because when I didn't even read that down here, because then when I see Infinity Ultron, this is literally what he looked like in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This was Ultron's. That was Ultron's game.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
This was his exact skin.
Yeah.
That's why I was just surprised they made it like literally completely accurate down to the T to the crystals in his chest. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, they did a really great job with it. I liked it.
Yeah, that was the only. Yeah, so that's the only one that references it. Was just Infinity Ultron. Which I take it for his was like what if he was like a world dictator? Because his MVP is literally. Planetary takeover. I don't know if you saw the outro right there, but that's basically what his outro is. If that's also a reference to the what if scenario.
Oh no, I didn't see it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go radio silent for a second. My wife's calling me, but I'm still listening.
Okay, but yeah, if it referenced that. Okay, I'll be here.
I'm back. Yeah, okay. It's funny because you mentioned that because Liam did say that. He goes, "Yo, that looks just like it did in Marvel vs. Capcom."
Yeah. That's why I grinded really hard to get this skin because I spent like the whole season when he came out maining Ultron because I was like, I'm gonna master this character. I know people keep telling me get the hell off this character. I'm not doing it. I can literally put up the same stats as other characters that are deemed quote unquote better. It takes a specific skill in order to use this dude. I want every skin for Ultron. And then this thing came out and just like, wait a minute. Didn't I see something like this in a fight in something else that I seen? And then one of my followers from the FGC references like, yeah, that's the skin from the fighting game. It's like, I need this shit.
Yeah.
Because why? Debatably, the cleanest of all 6 of his skins is the Infinity Ultron skin.
Yeah, it's so it's
a
sexy skin, bro.
Because the Extron was nice because I like the tethered display for the tethered rope, and with the chest display.
Yeah, he's definitely my pipeline of characters that I want to master. For sure.
Yeah.
Especially like. If you get him with somebody who's good with Iron Man, which could be a lot of people because you don't need a whole lot to be good with Iron Man. He's another one that you don't need.
He is kind of sort of in the department there. They took the little design of Pharah from Overwatch. It's the same thing. Pharah, the only skill aspect of her is the flight mechanic for her to stay in the air. The earlier seasons of Overwatch, she could just stay in the air damn near infinite, just like what Stark is doing now. Stark is the fundamentally dummy version of Pharah. That same concept, but I'm always in the air. All you got to do is just click R1, and there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've used Tony a few times, for challenges and stuff. I'm like, man, he's super easy to use.
Yeah. The hell, I honestly think like if he ever got nerfed or just got randomly shot, he'd still be all right.
One thing I will say, I do not agree with some of the developers' rankings of these characters, as far as like who's 5-star, 4-star, and all that. Because like Sue, she's one of my mains.
Like what?
I don't think she's really that difficult to use. She's like a 4-star, and I'm like, she should really be a 2.
So when they talk about difficulty, are they going over difficulty like the higher the difficulty rating the higher the difficulty rating is, the harder the character is, or the lower it is, the harder it is? Because I'm trying to think.
I thought it was the more stars, the harder, is how I always interpreted it.
Okay, because I base it off of like other shooters and whatnot. I don't really know because I don't agree with all of these when you think about system like how the characters play towards the system mechanics and towards like the general team idea when you get all your pieces together per se. Like for her, to even taking into consideration the new change that she got this season for her to have her own healing shield, which that's good. She needed that shit from the beginning.
Yeah.
I feel that she falls right at a 3. I would put her right in the middle because she's like her kit isn't about DPSing and whatnot. It's literally about like positioning and continual survivability to be within reach of the first person that needs a medic boost. That's always her thing, which is what I can value. I can value about her invisibility nicheness when she just randomly disappears sometimes, when she just sits there idle or you're not changing back and forth using the emote. She can just kind of phase out of visible view and can appear somewhere else. But also, if she's multitasking too indefinitely, if the player is right in the zone, she can literally be killed instantly because she can't defend herself or switch to defending herself from positional support. She has to commit to one or the other because she can commit to one or the other very well, but she can't do both. That's the That's the falling point and why people think she's bad. When she's good, it's just you're doing a good job at checking this detail. I think that she's not hard I don't think that she's hard to pick up per se, but she's not a character you can immediately learn in like a few hours and get the concept. You got to be on her for like a few days to understand how to move with her, not just heal with her.
That is true. And she's probably like out of my three mains, she's probably the one I'm the most nastiest with. Like if I'm her, you're getting hurt.
Yeah, let's see here. Like Natasha, for this one, the concept is easy, but if you think about this one with positional awareness and there always being a lot of chaos, you don't ideally have a lot of time to line up a shot unless you're just quick scoping your shots. I would honestly put Natasha at a 2. I wouldn't say she's totally hard because she can still do DPS if you're trying to like ADS your shots or hip fire sniper shots, which you can ideally do in team shooters that have snipers. So they could make this a 2. I would not say it's a 4 because she's not totally approachable like that. Was it Hawkeye, for instance, another one that's deemed like one of the harder ones in the game if I can find him.
Like Psylocke is a 4-star, and I think that's accurate. As somebody who uses Psylocke as a main, yeah, she's not the easy to use.
Yeah, I could say.
And she doesn't have a lot of like HP. Like she's Psylocke. Natasha, but she's. It don't take much to take her down. Like if I'm going up against a tank and I let them get in arm's reach, chances are if they 2 hit me, I'm done.
I guess you could say for the most part, like her concept when I go to look at it, I gotta actually really sit and play as Psylocke for a few days to get the concept. I can see why they get the concept in showing her as like a 5-star. She doesn't look like she has like a difficult floor to introduction to her design. It's like how far are you trying to go once you learn it, like when you get there. So I think in terms of like her approach of as a DPS or a rushdown, I think it can be somewhat beginner friendly. It's just mastering it to take it to different levels or to different matchups completely when you got to think about the rest of your team and how the map works and your resources. That's where you start introducing like how viable she is in the skill ceiling department. So she can be fairly approachable. Then what we got, Raccoon. This one I will agree to some degree because with him, it's not his healing is on point. It's his survivability. He is, in my opinion, the squishiest of the medics because of his size, but he is also the fastest because of his mobility. He can get into any little crevice, or he can get in and out of a lot of different situations if you're aware of the fact of what you can crawl on.
And I also believe he's harder to hit because he's smaller.
That is also correct. He's harder to hit, but when he gets hit hard. But he can drop a hell of a healing output that can match like low tier Lunas and most Adam Warlocks or Loki's. His healing output is very, very good if you're on point with doing your tick damaging with his med balls, but you're not trying to what they call it, med botting or heal botting.
Yeah.
And then what's Wolverine's 3? I could co-sign a 3.
I've only used him a couple of times for like challenges, but
3. What about what about Magneto and Gambit? I'm actually kind of curious about Wanda. This I disagree with completely. This woman, all you got to do is just hold the button, and she hits people with the magical beyond hand.
Yo, I call her the Scarlet Bitch. I hate when I'm with her because literally you need no skill.
She is the easiest. She's like one of the easiest autopilot characters. That's it. Just point, shoot. She just takes it away.
And she has been since season 0. Like
like her damage has fallen off, which good for her. But it's the same brain dead concept. She is the easiest scrub character to play in the game. Simply for you just gotta just go in, hold the button, float, dash back, holding this button.
Yeah, she was the original Daredevil when this game came out.
Yeah, let's see here, Manus. Yeah, I will give this one here. That makes some sense because she's a medic that requires a bit of like systemic multitasking to be aware of her like buffing and or healing and or both and or taking care of her if she's good, because she's a medic that requires you to have subtle aim. So she's kind of like a light tap Anna mixed with I want to say a little bit of Baptiste, because Baptiste is a medic in Overwatch that also requires aim, but also has sustainability between himself and between choosing his targets that are within range, that you got to choose between either heal botting or directly shooting it. And his gun of choice is like I don't know what they call it exactly, but it shoots literally like a pulse rifle from Destiny. It shoots the same way, in the same 3-round burst, in the same style for 30 ticks. Exactly like a Destiny pulse rifle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I would agree with that for her.
And so I just find it fascinating.
It's not like Luna. Like Luna, you need aim. If you ain't got aim,
yeah, Luna does take some work. Like she's not a brain dead top tier. She's a top tier medic simply because she rewards aim, but she also rewards the awareness of multitasking. Level 2, yeah, I could say that's like a 2. Because the main thing here,
I ended up getting the green version for her too.
Because the main thing is to always be mindful of. Oh, that's the team up ability. What's the? Yeah, where you attach her aura. Like that little thing for the crystal is like the key part of her healing engine. So where you're sitting focusing number 1, you give diamond to number 2. You're focusing number 1 the whole time. Number 2 is getting 10 to 15% of that healing you're giving number 1. That's how she's getting her statistical output so high in a lot of matches. You attach that diamond to a tank the majority of the game, that tank is Gucci. That's literally the whole thing of why Luna is like so good, is because she can systemically heal. You stay on top of that extra little diamond. You're essentially healing 2 people at the same time. You're healing 2 people at the same time for just sitting in one position. That's the key part about her that makes Luna like so ridiculously like invaluable in like higher level play. But again, requires aim, because you still have to initially aim with your targets. You can put a diamond on people as much as you want, but if you can't aim even for just healing people that are subtly in front of you, you're not going to get anywhere. And on top of that, you can't just aim. You also need to aim with rhythm. Because she is actually like a rhythm-based character where she rewards, you want to be able to do like 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3, check, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3. It has to be like with a whole beat with her, which is why I started to understand that the more I played her and the more I realized why they were emphasizing a lot of music shit with her. It makes sense because her whole thing is around rhythm. If you have good rhythm with how to heal people and how to chime in. I need to pause here a second in order to go do something else. I need to pause here in order to focus my DPS about to push. Pause here in order to do this. Those same tempo intervals, you're interchanging to a different focal point that secondary diamond's going to be changing to, or that intermission is going to be your ult pop, where she's just going to just be twerking it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's the healer I'm working on now.
She is a busybody, but she is worth it. She's worth the investment.
Yeah, I like her as a healer.
Yeah.
Because I jumped back on competitive today. I've always been sticking to my 3 lords, but you know, I'm working on these other characters in quick play.
Oddly enough, I would say this one, all this time throughout the year, I would say this feels right, but he feels like a 1 because Strange has been power crept since like season 2 onward, I want to say, because Emma Frost, once she got here, he became less and less valuable to the ideal of the push, because it's easy to get past his thing because it's physicals that are stopping him, not specials. His barrier shield is the equivalent of like Reinhardt's shield. Was like he's like the main base medic, the base tank that can tank everything, that has this one niche thing about the barrier that once you figure it out, he can be made invaluable. But the thing with him is that he did, unlike him, Ryan also changed with the meta in order to be that systemic and continual push tank that allows a huge visor to go through, so that way people behind you can shoot through it without worrying about taking damage, whereas you just need a 1 medic behind you and then you're fine. You can keep the barrier up for a good amount of time until you need to take it down and then potentially recast it. For him, his game plan has been the same honest formula since the beginning, and it's very easy to, unfortunately, to contest Strange now because his physicals are his main Achilles heel to his thing. Emma literally exposed this because Emma is his direct counter.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because, you know, Emma's my main my main tank, and Strange ain't no thing to me unless I'm trying to pop my ult. I want to make sure he's got his shield down. Other than that, same thing with like Spider-Man's now. When Spider-Man's dive in, I just be waiting, and as soon as they dive in, I diamond for him and choke slam the shit out of them. I'm like, all right, Spidey, you want to come here? You're balling.
But yeah, I agree with what you're saying with like how they put the tier rating for a lot of these characters, because a lot of some of them you have to really stop and think like what they're doing or what they want to do, as opposed to their introductory level as a character. I think the stars are trying to point out their introductory point as a character, not so much the team and then like their role as a character in that regard. Yeah. I don't think they take totally in regard to like the difficulty approach of some of these characters.
No, that does make more sense. When you think of it that way, it's like, oh, this is letting people like know, like if you just try and pick this character up, this is how hard it's going to be.
Right.
Gambit, like I said, I have a handful of characters in this game. Like you and I were talking about one day, and I told you, like, I have a handful of guys I haven't even touched. I don't even know what their mechanics are. I don't know. Like,
yeah, because this I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about at first with him, because his card mechanic, when you're trying to understand like how the viability works of his cards between the debuff or the massive heal or the cleanse, I wasn't sure how that worked, because that was the concept that was like the hardest part, like the first couple of weeks in trying to learn the character. Once you get that down and then understand like how he's trying to move, it's really easy to actually get like healing going and to get 1 or 2 kills focused with him. Understanding the template of his character coming from like playing Kiriko and Wuyong, the latest character that came out a couple seasons before in Overwatch, and how they incorporated that same template here, having already played with that, it was even easier and it was much faster to apply like what Gambit wanted to do, to where at first I didn't believe he was a 4, and then when I got past that learning curve with his mechanic, I can see why that's a 4.
Yeah, cause I know he's one of those characters that can like switch off his abilities from like offensive to defensive, right?
Kinda, yeah.
He can either buff your character or heal your character.
Kinda, yeah. because his ult is the buff. His ult is the buff aspect, and then his regular card shuffle before you shuffle the deck. When you do L1, and then you can choose between different ones. Is either between an offensive card ability, or a healing ability, or a cleansing ability. One of those three. At the cost of like one of his skills on his screen that you can use that goes up and down at the same rate like Mantis's leaves that you see on screen that you can use up to 4 at a time. Same thing with him when you can use up to 4 playing cards at a time.
Oh, okay.
That's why people compare his mechanics to those two, with his core mechanic for his cards, a different variation of Mantis's ability.
Oh, all right.
So,
yeah, because like whenever a new character drops that I know I'm not going to touch yet, I at least watch a video on them and how how they play and whatnot.
Okay.
Just because I want to know what I'm up against,
Right. That way you just got an idea of what it is. So if you're not going to lab the character, then when you go into casuals and whatnot, you have an idea on like what his main role are going to be or what the person's ideally wants to do.
Yeah, because like when I was watching the videos on him when he first the day he dropped, and they were saying like they're like if you when you learn him well enough, he could pretty much like counter anybody's ult. I'm like, what? Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Kind of cool at the same time.
I agree. It's definitely a cool concept with him. Like everything about the character, honestly, hadn't disappointed when he got here, and so it's just I'm just blessed to see that there's so much about him that he offers that can make a viable that also do kind of feed the lore of him being like a close Omega level mutant. It makes it right that he's justifiable to say this character is either top tier or close to top tier. That also complements the lore of him being close to being a top tier mutant.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I also I heard they're gonna like people are saying like they're gonna put Professor X in the game. I don't know how I feel about that.
Charles.
Yeah, but that like what? Because like in Kokora they have like the statue of him and stuff like that. They're like, oh, he's gonna be in the game. He's obviously not gonna be paralyzed, stuff like that. Like he is.
I don't know. I'm curious on like how they would take that. Same.
Yeah, like what like how exactly what would his powers be? I mean, other than like well, you know what? They're probably giving him like concussion blast and stuff like that. It's probably what they'd give him like that.
Because I can see him being either a tank or being a support. I can see him being one of the two, but I don't see him being totally oppressive. But I see him having massive viability. I just don't know how I just don't see the viability in it just yet. I would be really happy if Charles was in the game. He's one of my favorite heroes. I've loved everything about him and every iteration about him. I loved his character.
Yeah, it would be cool to see him. It's like just like you said, like and that's exactly where my head was at. Like exactly how would he actually work out?
Yeah, because I support a new mechanic outline that they can pop into the game, which was again that shapes an outline here in trying to take a role outline that's never been done before. If it works, cool. If it works too well, okay, cool. We know where this goes next. Or just like introduce some groundbreaking stuff. Go for it. I mean, you already did it before with Angela. You're doing it now with Gambit. A DP. Oh, excuse me. And then we also did this with Daredevil. So we can go down this avenue again. It's just how we get there.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just along for the ride and just seeing what characters are coming along as we come along, and then see what are all the pieces we're looking at here on the board of rivals.
Yeah. I do feel like we have a lot of mutants in the game.
Yes.
And like we need to balance that out a little bit.
In what way?
I just feel like there's more characters that they could bring in, like Luke Cage. You got Iron Fist. You could bring in Luke Cage, and Luke Cage would be a great tank.
Oh, that would work. Because last time I seen Luke Cage in a video game was Marvel's Alliance. I think was the last time he was in a game.
Yeah. Yep, because him and Luke Cage, they could have like the Heroes for Hire, like they could have some kind of like part, when they have like the team ups, they could definitely have some kind of team up.
Okay.
But I feel like we're getting a lot of like mutant characters, like from like the X-Men like series. As far as like you were saying earlier, like there's more Spider-Man characters we could get. Iron Man, you could get like what if we had like the Mandarin with his 10 rings, or Whiplash even from Iron Man. You know, there's some cool characters that we can bring out.
Yup.
Some more of the Avengers would be cool.
I can definitely see some more Avengers on the way because we'll see. Let's see. Next question was going into monetization and trust. Are players satisfied with skin quality and pricing and the events?
You know, I mean, I've always felt with all these kind of games, whether it be Fortnite, this, like, I always felt like skins were overpriced. Always. Even the bundles. Like everything that's that's like $20 could easily be $10 or $15. Like, it don't, you know what I mean? But as long as people are paying, it'll stay. You know, they're not going to. It's not just with rivals. It's just the industry. This anytime there's a game that's free to play, you already know. Like, but it's also up to the person too, because you don't need these skins to enjoy the game.
No, not at all. They help with enriching like small like qualities of life aspects, and then allowing you to delve further into like different artistical like pivots of like what the character looks like at base level. Yeah, but again, it's just the core aspect of the game, making sure the game is playable, replayable, characters are balanced or well represented, everything, and then everything just pans out for itself. The rest writes itself to some degree.
Yeah. But what they're doing, I don't think is anything out of line that any other company is doing. I don't think they're like, obviously I have plenty of skins that I've paid $20 for, or bundles that I paid $20 for. I definitely like the what they're doing in the battle passes. They, like I mentioned earlier, the only thing I want to see them stay away from is the gacha system. Like, I'd rather just, like, if I want it, I'll sit here and gamble for it, because that'll turn me off and make me not spend money on the game. Because I'm not a person, like, I don't play lotto, I don't go to casinos, I don't do gambling type stuff. So like anything that like is, especially like, because like really upset me like back when I used to play like Injustice 2 on the mobile, and like literally like you'd have like a 0.0005 chance of getting a gun that you're paying like $50 for. I'm like, nah, I'm good. If I'm paying $50, I want that shit.
I don't blame you there, because I try to grind hard in order to like counteract a gacha system like what Ultra Rumble does from time to time, in order to instead of sitting there and trying to pay into that shit when you gotta buy tickets in order to have this such and such probability in order to go into that. I don't necessarily like that, especially in today's market where money is scarce in trying to commit to one current investment without adding to the investment with an actual investment to attempt to rig a percentage probability in your favor.
Right.
Like, I would just buy the fucking skin at that point.
Yep.
And chat out there, if you agree with me, let me know, because I would just prefer to buy it at that point rather than sitting there and try and play the game, play the internal game when I can just play the game to get the skin. Like, it'll get my money at the end of the day, probably anyways. But why are we trying to rush more for less?
Yeah. Nope. I agree with you. I'm curious to know what the chat thinks about that too.
Yeah.
You know, but I would like to see though, which was pretty cool during, as the event's been going on currently, is that they had during Black Friday, and they had that the daily that was a little cheaper. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be cool if they did something like that, like, because I know they have money to make too. It's like if they did like a weekly thing where like, oh, this skin's on sale for the week, free shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's skin would be different, and there's like a discount on it. they probably won't do it on any of the legendary skins, but I think the purples and under, that'd be cool.
I think that would be nice.
Because I don't even think on Black Friday they did that with the legendaries. I think everything that they were offering was a purple. And of course, like if they were smart though, they would have they would have like pitched like because I know when they did that event, like I was watching YouTube on it, and the way it worked out, it was like it was randomized or whatever. But like I'm more likely to buy a costume for a character that I actually use, and we know from the stats from the year stats in the event, like here's your year in review. Did you guys know which characters we use? So why would you not have pitched us a skin for a character that we actually use and are more likely to buy? Because and even though it was cool, because every skin that I got for the daily, every single, and I don't know why if it's random, why it would turn out this way, but they were all Cloak and Dagger skins. And Cloak and Dagger, but I don't use them right now, so I don't buy skins for characters for characters I'm not currently using.
Right, or even if you don't really see yourself using them like that.
Yeah, it's like, it'd be cool to have that on them, but I don't use that character.
That's why I think for the most part for this one, since it's the first one, they'll probably get better with that as time goes along in order to better see the general statistical output on what characters people play most. Or if they did that now, I can understand two of the weird picks for the year anniversary. I can understand the weird ass fucking Venom skin if that's the case, because Venom was probably an underdog pick in the earlier seasons, and then with the debuff thing that they gave him for anti-healing, he's damn sure getting picked this season.
Yeah.
And then Luna, I can understand because Luna has been, well, I mean, it's Simp City, so it makes sense that she to some degree would have it.
She's Jeff, so. Well, I don't think Jeff was in any of the comics before this game. I'm pretty sure him and Luna Snow were made up.
Luna, to a degree, yes. Him, yes, but they were lesser known comics. Because I didn't even know about that until the more I was trying to understand more about Jeff's character, and then why they made him the pivot or the introductory portion of the 1 year anniversary, and him apparently having a job, because this actually happened in a comic. Because I was totally fucking lost on how a shark can have a job, but sure.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say no, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, because he seems to be like their little mascot. But Luna, here's another thing too. I noticed, I know a lot of people. Like I was watching people like shorts and YouTube videos of people upset that Galacta got a legendary skin, and we still have a handful of characters that have been here since season 0 that don't have had a single legendary, like Star-Lord. I'm like, yeah, I can see what
I understand.
If I was a Star-Lord player, I'd be upset.
I would definitely be also. I can see why. I see the argument. And the thing about that is that she's just an NPC. That's it. She's literally just a part of the main mascot for the games, and she has an alternate now.
It's a cool concept, but I don't, again, there. I don't know if you noticed this, but I see that there's characters that they favor. Like my homegirl Psylocke, she gets skins left and right. Luna Snow gets skins left and right. Jeff gets skins left and right. Invisible Woman gets skins left and right. And then there's other characters that are just.
She's starting to get those now. Hela has a huge amount of. I will say, actually, Hela's got a good amount of skins now for not really being a fan favorite that I'm aware of, but she's got a pretty good abundance of skins on her.
Yeah, she does. No.
So it's not like Overwatch per se, where it's bluntly 2 or 3 or 4 people where you're always getting skins, and then a lot of other people are literally just in the Sahara of variety. Mm-hmm. But it's pivoting down a very comparable road where I am noticing some characters are getting skins more frequently than others, but not always, but more frequently, yes.
All 3 of my mains get skins left to right, and that's not why I picked them. It just happened to be that way. Because Emma, she's another one. She's new, and she's got a buttload of skins.
Yeah,
and she's a fairly new character, so it's damn, to find out that she's got 2 legendaries, I believe. She's got at least 1 legendary. Yeah, but you got characters that don't even have 1 single legend. So that's a little unbalanced.
Yeah, that is the part about the promotional or marketing balancing. Next question. How well does the game utilize the Marvel universe without feeling gimmicky?
I think it does really good at that. I think it does really good at that because it doesn't feel like a gimmick to me. Any of this stuff, and like and you know me, I'm a fan. So like, because I think a lot of the stuff they do is a subtle nod to the fans. You know what I'm saying? So like, as far as like even in the lore, cosmetics, things that they do, like just like you were just saying with Jeff, like unless like you really know, like you didn't know Jeff had a business job, and that's why they gave him the little suit that you got to customize and everything, which is a cool little nod, you know.
Yeah.
I actually think it's cooler than that. Jeff seems gimmicky.
Fair enough. I guess he's one of the main ones. I guess where his whole the whole thing about him is, I guess, shoot from afar or throat goat.
Yeah.
Next question is, what feature, second to last one, what features do you see or that players can expect most going into year 2? This could be like a new game mode or clans or like revamping rank or social systems or even introducing villains.
More villains. I definitely see that coming in the future. Because that is one thing I know from things I've been hearing out there with my feelers and stuff like that. That supposedly that is a big concern amongst the community is people complaining that there's not enough villains, and I would agree with that 100%. There's not enough villains in this game.
I can agree with that.
And I would like to see, as you mentioned it, like with the clans, that would be so cool. Because like I remember that when Call of Duty did that briefly in Advanced Warfare, I loved doing the clan stuff and having clan wars, and then you'd have the clan wars on the weekends and stuff like that. And it was like, and you'd have to like try and dominate for the weekend. Like if they did stuff like that, I think it'd also help bring in player base and keep people playing.
It would, because it would make it. It would make it super. That would add a layer of competitiveness that doesn't revolve around rank, but private game
mode. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
That would encourage you going to alternate game modes and going into private mode more and being on the game more.
Mhm. Right, and you don't have that commitment of trying to like getting to ranked matches and like trying to level up and stuff when like you want to play casually, but you want to be a little more competitive than what's out there.
Yeah, so clan battle or group battle is like the best way to go about that. Or Overwatch did it, scrimmages.
Okay, yeah.
That's what they call them basically, with scrimmages, but that can be either like clan on clan action or like basically the equivalent of like the clan battles in COD or like what happened in Destiny and Transformers. Those same things with clan battling.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a fun little element. Another thing I thought I've been thinking about this for months. I was like, you know, what would be cool is you ever play Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Any of them?
Back on the PS3?
Yeah.
I played 2. I played a lot of 2. I didn't get a chance to play that much of 1, but I played a lot of 2. I really loved it. I didn't know if they made a third one or not.
There's a third one that's only on the Switch. I don't have it yet because it's still normal price. I'm not paying $60-some for a game that's been out for over 5 years. It's not happening.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
But the first 2 I played, and the thing I liked about it is like, you know, say like you had the squad and every character from the X-Men, you got some kind of buff, like special buff for that. If you picked all females, you had some kind of special buff for that. If you had all characters were Avenger characters, there was a different kind of buff for that. So I was like, how cool would that be if they did that? Like if you had the full Fantastic Four, or if like your whole roster was like the X-Men like characters, whether it's villain or superhero, you know, like, and it's like, and you would get some kind of like extra boost or some kind of special perk for playing as a team like that. You know what I mean? Or, but I'm not. I think it'd be a cool element, but I also hurt the game in any way. And I think it's one of those things you'd have to like test run it.
Okay. And then last question: what risks does the game face if certain changes aren't made? If you feel there are any risks that are out there right now for the game.
I don't feel like there's any risk right now, but I think if they ever like stop making the game for their current fan base, it will tank the game. That I firmly believe. If they stray away from pleasing their current fan base, I think they're gonna hurt the game a lot.
What would you think is the current fan base? Not the Gooners, but I mean, like in terms of like the fan base here. There's the casuals, the comps, the Marvel nerdies. Like, what is Marvel Rivals' like core audience? Is what I'm trying to think. Is like what they should be trying to focus on.
Well, look, they clearly play. They clearly play to masculinity. To see, especially after the last few years that we've seen, where like everybody's like, "Oh, masculinity is toxic," or "It's wrong to be a man." But like all the characters are very man. Like the men are manly looking, and the females up to the male gaze. So it's clear to me that like we are their target audience is like men, you know. But it's also something that like females can enjoy playing too, because just like my wife, she likes looking at these muscular dudes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like.
They find a way to appease both audiences to a pretty big degree. I don't agree necessarily with like the way a lot of some characters' bodies are proportioned because they don't really have builds like this. But I also understand that they're also the reason why some of them look that way, or it feels like they lean that way, either with the sexual enhancement or the masculine enhancement, is because they're still trying to pivot to the comic-y design it would probably look like.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that because because that was one of the things that made me want to play this game, like stay playing it. Like I tried it out just to try it out because like what brought me. I never played a game like this.
Yeah.
It was the Marvel characters that drew me to it, and what I liked about it, I was like, oh my god, this is old school comic book. Like the girls are like. Obviously, most women are not shaped like this in real life unless they pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, and most guys are not this jacked and buff unless they're in the gym all the time or whatever, you know? But I'm like, but this is exactly old school portrayal of superheroes. Everything's exaggerated, which I like, I love, and like, you know, like, cause like, okay, put it this way, it's like.
Didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, but what I like is like, it helps me escape reality. When I play, I want to escape reality. I want to decompress from my long, busy, stressful day. So like when I come into this, like I don't want it to reflect the real world. I want it to reflect that fantasy world. Like I want to escape into it. And I feel like they've done a great job. So when I play, like I feel like I'm immersed into like like a living comic book. You know, like I'm controlling the comic book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as every character comes out, that if they haven't had a comic book design yet, then they have one now. And that's what I can love about them, just giving a lot of love to, I guess, every new character they put in, or returning character, quote unquote, that's coming back in rotation to like the public eye of Marvel, that they expand the lore or they shine a light on existing lore.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much concludes everything here for the podcast and delving down a lot of stuff here for Marvel and Marvel Rivals itself. And I appreciate the time here to just sit and talk with you through the night.
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself, man, and I could literally talk about this for days. Like,
there's a lot of Marvel to love and to really sit and talk about.
Definitely have to do another pod sometime and we just kick it.
Sure.
Yeah, we just chatted up about whatever, man. Anything dorkism, you know, I'm there. I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. I got you.
Hey, you got me. Okay. All I gotta do is just think of like the right thing I want to go into, either here, maybe even DC. But there is something that is gonna scratch my itch somewhere along the line that I want to delve into and that I want to learn. All All right, chat. On that notion, we shall be out shortly. We're going to go on ahead and send this on over to Neo.
All right. It was nice spending time with y'all, game freaks. Catch you next time.
All right. Like I always say, chat, till all are one.